Hello! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show of Force Majeure. It's getting late. It's getting light later. This is a natural light episode. While everybody finds your seat, you can find your number at the bottom of your ticket. I'm just gonna share a few science facts. I'm a science nerd. I like learning about the way the world works, and I figured this might be kind of an opportune time to share some fun facts. Fun facts. It takes your body 20 minutes after you've stopped eating to know if this was a date or just a friend hang. The little divot beneath your nose on the upper lip was actually a huge mistake. Some people actually perceive cilantro as currency. Tooth enamel is the only part of your body. The pupil extends all the way to the back of your head and down into your pelvis. It takes 7 years for all of the cells in your body to let you down again. Fun facts. That's anatomy. That's what you can use. If you're just joining, welcome. I'm Dessa, and this is the show of Force Majeure, broadcast from my one-bedroom apartment in Minneapolis. I hope you made a drink. I hope you're feeling fancy from like bust level up. I haven't yet poured mine, so hang tight. Aha. My glass is just out of, hang tight. Okay, it's Thursday night. It's the time, I don't know, 7:45 p.m. Central Time. If I had kids under the age of 20, I'd put them to bed by now. Cheers. You know what? Let's get out the good stuff, yeah? This is a little live stream that spares no expense. Basically, it's a Thursday. And it's Friday somewhere. Salud. Cheers, cheers. Okay, I'm going to be doing a little reading today from a piece that I call the penny letter. I've done this little experiment only once before, but in short, here's how it goes, is that I've always been attracted to like art forms and disciplines that kind of either exist in between categories or all the way the hell outside of categories. And I was feeling real saucy and real feisty that I was really struggling to get anybody, I don't know, in the art industry to be similarly enthusiastic about stuff that was tough to sell. Fair enough. But this was a piece that starts as fiction and becomes nonfiction depending on how you behave. Ready? Okay. This is called the penny letter. Next week, or maybe the week after, I will receive a penny in the mail, a 1994, sent by a stranger. When it arrives, I will know already that it's the penny letter with nothing else inside. If I hold the envelope to the light, the seams will show through like the cartilage on an X-ray, and when I tilt it, the penny will roll along the bottom like the wheel of a tiny locomotive. The penny will be weighted with a wish. I will remove the penny, discard the envelope, then I'll fill a juice glass 2/3 of the way with water to make a miniature wishing well. When my little brother Max was 8 years old, my father took us to his new apartment. I was 14, pink-haired, and depressive. The unit was a 1-bedroom, less than 2 miles from our house, now Mom's house. My dad bought a bunk bed that came in a box. He built it into the basement next to the washing machine. Max and I were to stay there 3 nights a week. Max and I knew it was important to like this apartment. We had to marvel at the donut shop on the corner as Dad pointed it out. And when he took us to the lake nearby, we had to get excited about the clarity of the water and by the talk of swimming in it. I did most of the speaking. Max helped by nodding a lot. We only had to live it half the time. But this was Dad's new life. My father was dark-haired and tall, thin from good genes and long sadness. He skipped rocks on the water, a thing that should not work but does. Max helped by picking smooth stones from the sand, making a cache for Dad to draw from. It got too dark to enjoy skipping rocks. We could still hear them, but we couldn't see the ripples. And my dad took 3 coins out of his pocket. He handed one to me, one to Max, and kept one for himself. He told us to make wishes. Max and I walked to the water's edge, and it was safe to relax our faces with our backs to our father. We both threw our coins. Then my dad came to stand with us at the water line. He threw his penny, and launched by his long arm, we waited a long time to hear the splash. Then we turned to walk back towards his new apartment. I didn't trust my voice to stay steady, so I kept quiet. But then the silence felt wrong, and so I asked, "What'd you wish for?" And immediately I rebuked myself. You're not supposed to ask that. Also, why would you ask that now? My dad, whose voice did not sound so good either, answered, "I wished that your wish would come true." My eyes watered, but I held them wide open so as not to break the dam. And this kindness seemed like too much. When someone is suffering, the only sensible wish is, make it stop. But my dad spent his wish on me. I'm not quite as old as my father was then. I don't have children, at least not yet. But I'm walking by my own lake this year and growing thin for my own reasons. And I would like to be so kind, would like to spend my toss on something larger than the sensible wish. If you'd like, you can mail your penny here. No money and no harm. Wish for something good. Okay. Cheers. This time around, I asked if people had any questions that they wanted to submit on social media, written by hand, just for the hell of it. And a couple of people had really good questions. Really good questions. But my offstage production team is letting me know that I forgot to do the Venmo thing. This is a free show. Don't donate to this if you're short on funds yourself. Don't worry about it. But this week, I'll be raising funds again for the New York City Food Bank, if you are inclined. Yeah? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, questions from the intranet. I thought these were so good. So, Only Bree asked, what do you do if you've written a poem where one portion is really good, but the rest is subpar compared to that good bit? Do you work to bring the rest up to standard? Do you scrap the whole thing? Is it okay for poetry to have varying levels of goodness in the same poem? What an honest, cool, weird question, Bree. Okay. I don't know if I'm in the majority in answering in this way, but I'll say I think excellence ought to be maximized all the time. Whether that's like writing a rap chorus or a rap verse or a rap bridge, like I think everything ought to be as good as it can be. That doesn't mean that it has to be a featured moment. You know what I mean? You can't have only punchlines. You gotta have setups too. But I think you should try to make the whole thing as good as it can possibly be. Happily, in poetry, you are armed with infinite scalpels. Have you tried just cutting all the part that sucks? Does it still make any sense? Even if it doesn't make any sense, is it still kind of tight? Try that. Yeah. I had this really cool teacher that was Oh, cool. Cool, Des. His name escapes me. That sucks. But the best counsel that he gave about poetry was that it's not an additive endeavor. You know, it's not like you're making a house where you build parts. It's like you're making a sculpture where you're taking things away from the initial block of marble. So it's in what you choose to eliminate that really showcases the value of the poem. I remember my head exploding, but apparently not enough to write the guy's name down. Here's one from Gracelia on Instagram. And she says, you're known for working across genres and art forms. Have you ever had any interest in visual art? Interest? Yes. Skill? No. This one was from Ashley Wilkinson. She said, I'm a singer who's paid to record other lyricists' song, and I've only been working with really amateur lyricists. Oh, I feel you. God. I always sing my own stuff. And to be honest, I hire me to sing it because I'm the least expensive session player for me that I know. It's a different market, you know? Ooh, last one. So Nabokov 116 says, Nabokov 116. I vacillate between the two. It's 2020. Anything goes. She references a commencement speech that I gave a bunch of years ago when we were still doing commencements and school and speeches. And I'm a big fan of this little book by a philosopher named Seneca. It's called On the Shortness of Life. And part of the reason I like it is probably it's like 100 pages. But I had read this, which is, you will find no one willing to share his money. But to how many does each of us divide up his life? People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are the most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. And in that gig, I was like a big advocate of, I don't know, of being not mindful, not like yoga, not like breathing carefully. Just like you only get one go, as far as I know, at being on the planet and lucid and embodied. So don't spend it on obligatory birthday parties of your cousin's new man. Like, be nice, be kind, but yeah, be as deliberate with your time as you are about any other resource, because it's the only one that you can never, ever negotiate more of. But she had such a good follow-up question, which is like, how do I stick with that idea of like not being afraid to say nah? When we're all in isolation and there are absolutely no excuses because everybody knows that you're not out and you're not busy. Ooh, that's tough. Is it possible to do a little introspection and say like, why don't you want to talk to them? Part of me is like, I don't know, every once in a while I'm like, dude, I'm all socialized out. I'm zoomed to the max. I just want to sit and read. But then sometimes I just do it too. Okay, you know what it is? It's 8. To the window! Not to the walls. At 8 o'clock, here where I live, in Minneapolis, participating in the thank you to the frontline workers of all stripes and varieties by opening the window and making a little noise. You should too, if you're in Central Time, or do it in the future, or have done it in the past when it was 8 your time. Yeah. Where are you guys watching from? Will you write that down? I'm gonna clap. My landlord put in a screen. Okay, well, thank you. It's 2 years waiting for that screen. Unexpected. Seattle. What's up, Seattle? Okay. And now, my guys, for a little special guest. It's a special guest. I have long asked one of my friends, who I think is a really great wordsmith, if he might be interested in doing some like page work. And my friend Sims, welcome to stage Sims, was nice enough to say that he joined Show Up Force Majeure and do
a hard get. I don't know how you pulled this one off, but it was a hard get. But hey, I'm here for you.
Okay, I'm gonna cede the stage to you. Ready? Do you think?
Yeah. Okay. Um, this is a new song I've been kind of working on. Uh, I don't really, it's not really fleshed out yet, so you guys are seeing a work in progress here. From a record that I think I'm getting close to finishing. Okay. This is interesting because this is the first one I've written without using a pen ever. I just kind of wrote line by line by line and kept it in my head and kind of been working on it since last fall. Didn't use a pen with this, just so you know, it's not off the top, but all right, it goes. To be perfectly honest, I'm the product of blunt force plus run its course trauma, whose biggest problems include not being perfectly honest. I'm trying. Learn my survival strategy from watching nature shows. Show weakness to the pack and you'll get ate up whole. So I made myself as useful as I could be. Probably should be safe if I'm impossible to know. My nature knows, keep the door closed. It's warpath, impossible to forecast. Stay composed, up to the waist in snow. 8 years old, no place to go. Take the slurry of love and hate and make your own. It might break your soul, then do everything it can to try to make you whole. And that's the ache, when everything feels played a role. No spirit in the game, just a way to take control. All a long-winded way to say I'm trying to find a way to trust. But believe me, you don't make it easy. I'm not mad, I missed healing season, looking for a sign or reason. I'm not crying, I'm bleeding. But hey, I can't complain. Look at all this flame. Look at all this flame. You should see the way that I sustain. That's that.
Yes. Thanks, Sims. Thanks, Simsy Fixie.
You're welcome. See you guys tomorrow night doing free TV. Peace.
8 p.m. Central. We'll be there.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Sims. It's my guy. Okay. A quick poem. This is our penultimate segment. Hey, we got people watching from South Africa at 3 a.m. That is so cool. Oh, this one's called Mercy. To forgive is to summon your character, red-eyed and sober, and command it to behave against the current of your instinct. To reach down, to reach up and take down your own flag. To forgive is to break the wishbone of a living bird, who consents to the procedure and volunteers to stay awake to save on anesthesia. It is to make a snow angel in the sawdust beneath the bench where they are shaving down your pride. To arrive at mercy, you pass through a tiny wooden door whose polished knob is the head of a brass pin. You do not enter whole. You undo yourself, pass yourself in pieces to be reassembled on the other side. Your vertebrae go singly to be rethreaded on the wire of your spine. The larger bones are first reduced by fire. It happens in the early morning hours, often in a sudden, soft collapse. It happens when your lungs are empty, your heart is still between contractions, and you will feel it cracking like a breaking paper dam. Some pain, then swift release, and there you'll have it. Every grievance unspooling at your feet and shining like cassette tape. I don't know how many have done it and survived. They don't come back to say. But I have seen them through the keyhole, swaying, mute, serene, with folded hands and upturned faces, like rag dolls assembled by the blind. That's the universal poetry noise. Okay, guys. We're going outside. We're not going very far outside, but it's time for the next and final segment of the show. Ready? To the hallway. And I think we know what's in the hallway. Oh. Hey. It's Lott, the house band. Graciously of show force majeure. Okay, let me put you in your home. Okay, your home is there you go. There you go. You're doing great work. You're doing great. Just hang tight. There we are. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Are you okay? Yes, you are okay. Ready? Everybody feeling good? Yes. I am still talking to the iPhone. Okay. Yeah, this one. Am I setting tempo right now? Or am I just standing here? Okay. Pause. Game on. Hold on. We had a neighbor. Game on. Okay. Oh, someone taught your walls to talk, but if they ask me, I ain't heard a thing. I ain't heard a thing. Back to the ball, back to the ball, back to the drawing board, back to the ball, back to the ball, back to the drawing board, back to the ball, back to the ball, to the drawing board again. There was a snowstorm in Jackson when you and I met at a club called St. Sebastian's, but the sign said something different. I remember thinking that I didn't have a shot at Mississippi. Television told us which rooms they were closing. There goes a rap show, and everybody knew you as the white girl famous. And everybody who knew said, there goes Dixon's girl again. Even the walls be closer. She plays the piano real slow. Haven't been too many women in this business that I really like. But you can hold a little lick, you can hold the conversation, you can hold it all night. And even that night, I learned the truth about your man. You gotta be big to treat pretty girls bad. It's not much, but my money's on you. It's not much, but my money's on you. It's not much, but my money. It's not much, but my money. It's not much, but my money. My money's on you. Classic verse and chorus. Lott. That's me. Dessa. Okay, the last thing to do. Ready? You guys still good? Yes, you're still good. Is to do our credits. Thanks, as always, to Tom. Tom doing all the graphics for the show. Thanks to Sims, aka Simsy Fixie, for the cameo on this week's show. And also, of course, to Lott for performing. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.